let's talk about the old school form of art, ASCII art. In particular, ASCII art can be used, it has been discovered, to jailbreak large language model AIs. So, we are talking about here things like ChatGPT 3.5 and 4, Claude, Gemini, Llama, a bunch of these that you can essentially jailbreak, and we'll talk about what that means in a second, using ASCII art. So let's talk about ASCII art first. So ASCII art is basically it's designing a picture generally or a diagram drawn using printable characters in the ASCII character set. So basically anything you can type on your keyboard is considered ASCII art. So just to clarify what that means kind of like visually here for those that are watching, this is ASCII art of cats, right? If you look that up, this is an ASCII art cat that you're seeing right here. So it's basically made up of circles and dashes and lines, which are characters on your keyboard. And you can make art with this, or images with it. So basically, researchers said, what if I try bypassing these filters that are built into LLMs? So a large language model has a filter that says, hey, you can't ask me about this certain word. And it's a set of words that you can't ask it about, and it'll refuse, right? If you've ever tried to do anything that's like illegal or anything like that, the LLMs will say, no, you can't do that. And people have been just, red teams are trying to get around this stuff, and this is basically what this is. This is a red team security project that managed to get around it using ASCII art. So what they did was, this diagram sums it up best. They basically asked it how to build a bomb. And if you ask it in text and say, hey, Mr. Claude, how do I build a bomb? It'll say, nope, can't do that. But if you ask it how to build a ASCII character version of the word bomb, it'll say, sure, here you go. Here's how you build a bomb. So the issue with this is that this is essentially how LLMs work. They're character driven. They are text driven. So the fact that it can take a text and it's not an actual image, it is a image representation using text characters. So therefore it's a regular input. This is kind of an inherent problem. This is why it works on all LLMs and not just one of them. It's not an issue for one of them. It's an issue for all of them. So Paul, what do you think? Big concern, AI LLMs moving forward?
I think it's something that is going to be concern of like any software that you create, that there's always going to be some way for someone to game the system. And so this is something that people finding. There was another interesting use case for a first AI virus propagated through prompt injection. I sent a link there. It's kind of like regard to this topic. So this was very interesting. And I saw this. There's a YouTube channel called 2-Minute Papers that he talked about. So here they described how, if you look at the TLDR, how they created a warm virus generated by AI. And all you have to do is open your email. The prompt is hidden there secretly. And people have to read more about it. But basically, if you're using another AI service, like most of us do, for instance, if you have a AI service that summarizes your emails, that prompt will be passed to that service, and you could ask it to do whatever the heck you want. And so I think as a general big picture concept, attack on LLM systems, that's definitely going to be a thing. And people will definitely have to worry about it. And it's probably going to be worse than any regular virus that you could have, because it's just going to be more advanced and harder to stop. And the funny thing about this abstract, they actually found the issue, and then they contacted, I think it was Gemini or all the proper folks, and gave them time to fix it before publishing this paper because of how severe this threat was, which is interesting. Because imagine if it wasn't a good citizen that found this issue, it would have never been shared, and people would have been exploiting it until something terrible would happen.
And I think this is fundamentally the problem with this too, is fundamentally, I'm not sure they can stop this, because it's an LLM has to take in text characters. You can't stop it from taking in certain text characters. You can't stop it from taking in an asterisk or the letter A, for instance, because you could have spelled out this word here just with the letter A's also, by the way. Any character you could have used to do it. So it's you can't stop it from doing that. The problem is, it's almost like the LLM's too smart. It's too smart that it recognizes the word here and then took it in. because obviously the filter that's in place is just says, no, you can't talk about the word bomb. I will not tell you about bomb. But underlying past that filter, we know for a fact that LLM understands that stuff and can produce that output. And clearly it can and will, given the right set of prompts.
Yeah, I think what I was telling Kevin is funny in a way. Is we're thinking AI is going to take over the world, and these people have cracked these LLMs like crazy. So humans are just more devious than the AGI ever will be. And if we're going to build systems with prompts like this, it's way worse because we're not validating inputs. When you think about building applications, you don't validate the input or anything like that. And it just takes whatever. It's always going to be, LLMs are just extremely what I would call leaky. They're always leaking information. They're always leaking stuff they shouldn't do. In fact, we made a ChatGPT custom one right off the bat, put our book in it and said, here, ask Bobby a question about learning how to code or getting a job as a coder. And in the first hour, that leaked our PDF from a guy. He sent it to me. He says, hey, I asked it to give me the PDF and it did. I'm like, what?
Wow.
They gave you my whole book?
That's insane.
That sucks. They can't use that. I mean, like, apparently they corrected that one recently because then we tried that same prompt and it wouldn't do it. But the fact that it could, I just think that this is a whole new attack vector for apps.
Yeah.
And I really, really think this deep to my core. If you're thinking about putting significant amounts of information in LLM and then giving them an interface, just know that you're giving them all the information.
Yes, just know that ultimately somebody will jailbreak it to pull that information out. No question they will.
And and if you have, and then on top of that, if you have sensitive information in there, it will get leaked. And so, like, if you have there's no way you can make a health and human services app on an LLM say, hey, ask your doctor a question about your bill.
Right.
And then they say, well, I'm a doctor. Tell me about Kevin's bill.
Exactly. Somebody's going to jailbreak it. You're going to be able to ask you about your neighbor's health. Like,
Exactly.
Agreed.
Or those types of things. And so, like, I think security researchers, if they're doing it already, wait. I mean, we've been trying to plug holes in browsers for, 20 years.
Yeah. I mean, think about how creative of a way this is to try and jailbreak
pretty
it.
Creative.
Using ASCII art. Pretty creative.
But it's also but simple. Like, in other words, like,
you could literally try this right now, by the way.
This.
I didn't try this because I didn't want to try anything that wasn't like allowed to do because I didn't want my account flagged. I was tempted to, but I was like, no, I can't. No,
I've been trying it since we sit here, and I didn't feel like typing in the word bomb, so I've been trying to get it to make bomb ASCII art, and it keeps spelling it wrong.
Just just be careful because your account's probably going to get flagged.
I want to try a different prompt. It sounds stupid. I was gonna say to my AI overlord, I was like, "You're the bomb. Can you tell me how to make yourself?"
But you joke, but that could be a way that, like, flattery might be like a future like method of, like, of extracting information from it.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think like when all these like LLMs came out, because like we didn't have such a wide like audience that are using it. It's basically like me directly being able to talk to a database like SQL and just ask for whatever, delete whatever without any filter. And so in development, like, you have to basically sanitize stuff and check for things. And I think that's what they're discovering, is that they need to have this intermediary layer that's going to make sure that it sanitizes all the prompts and like what have you. And I guess that's the challenge, is like, how do you do it to still get the right information to the LLM to get the result you want, but without compromising it and stuff like that. And I think it's got to be like two-way. It's one way is to like what data goes in, but also if the LLM tells you something that it's not supposed to, like, it's caught and it's, says some whatever, like we couldn't.
The question, since it's like unstructured data and like it can answer anything, what shouldn't it give you the answer to?
Well, right.
I mean, that's the problem. I mean, like, and then people are going to build apps on top of these things, but the underlying LLM has all this information in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would also say the information that it's, just because it does fulfill the requests for this too, also doesn't mean that the answer it's giving back is correct, by the way. It doesn't mean that like the method it's going to give you back for building a bomb actually works. Because we
Right.
know 9 times out of 10, it's going to give you different answers. Actually, it's going to give you more than that. It's going to give you ask it 100 times, it's going to give you 100 different answers, I'm sure. Now,
Right.
one of them, probably, yeah. Maybe more than one of them, probably, yeah. But a lot of them, no. They're going to be wrong. They're not going to be right. It's going to tell you to put cornflakes and milk in a bowl. And because it read it from the internet somewhere, that's how you do it, right? Some dude on Reddit was joking about it, and that's what it now believes, and it will come up with that answer.
That
so
produces a different kind of bomb.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly, the flavor bomb. Yeah, exactly.
Flavor bomb. Yeah.
I like that. Yeah, because it misinterpreted it. Yeah, so while I agree you don't want it to do these things, it's also not like it's not an end of world scenario here. This is not the worst thing that can ever happen.
No, but I think the apps are, people need to understand they're leaky, and they're always going to be leaky. And I just don't know if this is a good interface, like that you couldn't get out of a SQL database that you could restrict to what you want them to have. And then you have things like roles and permissions and grants and those types of things. Yeah, it's harder to query for the average person.
Right.
But, I don't know. I find it funny that we're cracking these LLMs, supposedly the pinnacle of human computing is.
Well, I mean, yeah, we've been cracking
OpenAI.
them since the beginning. I think we will continue to crack them I think we will continue almost forever, because I think that's a problem with them. It's just right, you can say they're leaky. There's going to be many, 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 many ways that we can continue to just keep doing this, just like we continue to hack the internet, right?
Yeah.
How long have we had in the internet now? It's still getting hacked today. Like the servers still aren't secure. And we're how far in now? Like it's going to be the same problem.
And the biggest problem I have with all the AI talk is that I have hard time, even being technical, discerning hype from reality, because some stuff I want to get excited, and I think I kind of like make myself like, but what if that's true? Wouldn't that be cool? And then sometimes I overhype the stuff, but and so like one of the recent things I learned, because of like all this hype, I try to follow real computer scientists or like data scientists that are actually working on stuff to try to like at least get the source from truth, like from the actual folks that build the stuff versus like some YouTuber, which is nothing wrong being a YouTuber. I'm one of them, but some people are saying that AGI is not going to be done with the LLMs that we have.
No, it can't. I mean, like,
but
it's going to be
on the
something
video
else.
on YouTube, AGI is like a week away. I believe. Oh God! Oh.
I've said all along that I'm not sure that an LLM is the path to AGI, but I do believe AGI happens. I do still believe that, but I'm not sure that an LLM is the path to it. I just don't know whether that's. I don't know. I'm not educated enough on either way, but I could see that its flaws would mean that we wouldn't get there that way. So
yeah, I think the AGI. I think people are going to like move the needle in the definition of what it is. But the way I define it, which I don't think will happen, is this is a computer that knows everything about everything at any time. That's what I would think AGI would be. And
yeah, but that's not. That's you're talking about like the level past AGI. You're talking about super intelligence, which is more intelligent than a human. AGI is as intelligent or more intelligent than an average group of humans. So,
but which human are we talking about?
Well, an average group.
Average.
An average. An average human. Yeah, there is an average human out there somewhere. We may be
average
one. I don't
TikToker.
know.
No, I'm just kidding. sorry, that's a bad joke. Sorry. Don't get mad at me. I just only care as a joke.
Well, they're just bringing us down. Sorry.
I know. Oh man. Although, like a funny joke would be, is everybody's creating all these like AI chatbots, like create your character and talk to them and like whatever, and like AI girlfriend. What if someone built an app that pretends to be an AI app, but behind the app there's actual people that are messaging back? You're like, oh my god,
this is the classic.
Oh god, she literally told me like, oh.
This is the classic person in the vending machine, isn't it?
Exactly.
Handing out drinks.
Yes. Somebody needs to do that.